what to do when you meet his family for the first time or just trying to integrate with his family. Hey, this is May in Atlanta, Georgia. So here's the thing. I don't know why adult women, since we already are established and we are grown women with probably kids of our own, and he has kids and family of his own, why do we have to meet their family? I mean, I know it's this pressure to integrate and having everybody get along and like you and all that stuff, but who gives a shit? If you're watching this, most likely you're like 40s or 50. You don't need their approval, first of all. So you don't need to take up time and prove that you're worthy of his attention and all that. So you don't need their approval. And frankly, this is what I see, is that when Keith has me around, his attention is on me. And so the family feels awkward. Everybody feels awkward. I think it's actually more generous for me to let him go to his family stuff and not try to integrate me into it. I have met them before. I said hi. I go to funerals. I go to weddings. And that's it. I don't need to come to every holidays. I don't need them to acknowledge my birthday. All of that just causes miseries. How do we know? How it's hard to love. It's hard to make it feel good for everybody. So how would they know to love you and all this stuff? And why do we have to? So I like separation. I like time for him with his family, so that they can really have their own ways of doing things, like they play games, they have their own jokes and all that. I don't need to get in on that stuff, and I don't think you need it either. And then you should have a life, and you should have other people that you go see that he doesn't have to go either. So this thing about having to join and having to fit in and all that, it's just too much pressure. You're not 20s anymore. You're freaking 40, 50, 60. Who cares? When we're older, we don't have to integrate families. And just have, but love each other. I have texted them, I have told them that I don't show up for family things because I want them to have their dad. I don't want them to have to share their dad with me, and I don't want them to have to be polite. I don't want them to pretend. I just want them to have their own things, and I get to have my own things with my family. We speak Vietnamese. We have our own jokes. And here's this tall older white guy. Don't make him try to fit in. It's just too much work, too much stress on everybody, and everybody's awkward. Family time should be time that you put your hair down, let your hair down, and just be with each other. And people just want to be in the same old ways. We don't want change. We don't want new integration. We don't need to include another woman in here. They already know about you, okay? So you don't need to assert yourself into the family. Thank you, honey. Hi, Dala. And hi, Elizabeth. And the other thing, too, is there was another thing, too, is that did you know that we suck at sharing as human beings? We just naturally suck at sharing, right? So what does that have to do with this? Well, we're sharing the guy, or they have to share you with him and her, all this stuff. People just suck at sharing, so don't make them share. Give them their own time, and when they have their own time, they will be more generous to you. They will feel more full, and you will feel more full, and you don't have to compete. So your daughter doesn't have to feel like she has to share your time with him or with her and his, all that stuff. So erase all the headaches out of your life. Remove, meet each other once or twice, but don't try to fit in. You don't have to anymore. You're not a kid. You don't need their approval, and we don't share well, so don't make people share. Give them their own time. Same as holidays, like Keith goes to spend Thanksgiving with his sisters, and I go and spend it with my family, or I go spend it with my girlfriends, or whatever community that comes up for that year. There's no rules and all that stuff. Make your own holidays. I like it when we stretch the holidays out, and so you don't have to rush, you don't have to drive, you don't have to squeeze it in. do what feels good instead of obligation. We're way too old for obligations. All right, that's my 2 cents on how to meet others and how to integrate. Don't. Oh, what a terrible coach right now. I like peace. I like space. I like respect. I don't need to assert myself into things to satisfy my own ego need, to feel insecure, to feel more secure in the relationship. I'm all good. I don't need anyone else's approval to do that. All right, have a great night, everyone. Saying hi from Atlanta. This is the train station from the airport to Decatur. Oh, I can't say that name right. Decatur. There you go. Here, let me give you a little view. Let's see. That's the train station. It's really quite a nice station. This one is, and it's an evening, a lovely warm evening in Atlanta. And supposedly I'm down at the square. It's really pretty, huh? And no rain, yay! Okay, I'm waiting for my ride. Oh, I think she's here. Look, she's right